We are live. Okay, hello, good evening. Enjoying where to go. Enjoying my strawberry milkshake. I have some strawberries in the freezer I saved from being in season, and those are really good. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I decided to try the Whole Foods strawberries. They are organic frozen strawberries, and they are pretty good actually, but it's a little disappointing. It's never going to be as good as the fresh stuff. Wake up, Maine. I'm here. Marcus is banging at his door. Death to egg white eaters. 16-year-old who ate raw organs for a few months versus guy who did the diet for many years. Yeah, people were saying this Marcus guy reacted to my video, and I was like, I don't even know who that is. As some kid, as some nobody. And yeah, I just can't take kids seriously, you know. So it's nice to see that he's, you know, punching up, you know, people who are above him. I saw the guy. He really needs to. He's not in good shape, like most of these kids who eat a bunch of organs and drink blood. Just kind of a not an impressive physique. Yeah. I'm not gonna punch down on the guy, but it's just, you know, I just think it's a little, you know, he didn't have the integrity to tag me in his video. You know, he just reacted to this video like it exists who knows where, so people can't even like go find it. If I was going to react to something, I would tag them in the video, you know. It just reeks of a lack of integrity and possibly cowardice, you know. But people were sending me screenshots of his comment section, and they were all kind of making fun of him. So that was pretty funny. So, yeah. And you know, the thing is, too, it's like this channel is about the primal diet, okay? It's about my experience with the primal diet. So, of course, I'm going to cite the book. Duh. It's like people think, you know, like this is some sort of objective whatever. And at the same time, this is science. This is an experiment because I'm trying what Augenis wrote about in his book. So I'm the test subject. I'm the experiment, not what's in a lab. By the way, and I'm not going to go on too much longer about this egg white stuff. Egg whites, they're derived in different fashions for these tests. And in a lot of the studies, they use an egg spray, or like it's like dried egg white. So it's a little, it's not exactly like you were to eating. Of course, the researchers claim that, oh, well, this is chemically identical, and because avidin is such a strong, you know, compound or molecule or whatever it is, you know, thing, you can use these extraction methods, these purification methods, and it won't harm the avidin, the integrity of the avidin for these trials, these labs. So, you know, I gotta say, like, I don't think I'm deficient in anything. I don't feel deficient in anything. I know people who've been on the diet a long time, and been eating the whole eggs for years, and they're fine. So, I just don't really, you know, I mean, I can sit here and cite a bunch of studies about how a plant-based diet is good, whatever. You know, you look at Brian Johnson, perfect example. But I mean, like, who cares? Like, do the work yourself and live it. Live what you talk. Which is what I do. And granted, those people do it too. They just eat the egg yolks. But I was just making a diet about. A video about the primal diet take on the egg yolks and the egg whites. That's all it was. So, I mean, I don't really care what people do, but if in the context of Hogenus's works in the primal diet, very clearly states whole eggs. So that's what I did a video on. I thought it'd be a good video. It was a good video. Lots of motion on that. Waiting 1 year to drink raw milk. 4 ounces per day, like Hogenus said. Healing my gut right now. Congratulations. Keep going. Yeah, he's going in the asylum for sure. I had 3 whole eggs today, cold, no problem. Yeah, I mean, it's like every said, everybody's different. You know, cold eggs don't really affect me in some way. I'll drink them cold if I'm in a hurry. I do let them warm up on my mouth for a minute, though, but, you know, I drink, you know, milkshakes and ice cream. That's cold. Cold eggs. There. Oh, I need to put the chat up. I'm having some stinky farts right now. What did I eat today? Lube. I think it's the grapefruit and the cream. I had a bunch of grapefruit and cream with honey. That always seems to set off the farts. Not always, but sometimes it does. I definitely feel a cleansing process. Especially after a bath. You know, you do that kind of stuff. Have a certain fruit meal before a bath. Like the limp formula is a good example. And you'll feel different after the bath versus if you don't happen to take a bath. Also had tartare for the first time in a couple months. Gotta say, it made me slightly nauseous. Yeah, if that happens, it's good to eat cheese. Eat cheese before, during, and after meat meals. If you have nausea, that should help. Or raw fats, I mean, help as well. But yeah, it's not uncommon to get, you know, a little bit of nausea from eating raw meat, especially starting out. Could also be the kind of meat. You know, maybe you're more of a white meat kind of guy. So, you seem like a highly creative, energetic, eccentric type, Bill Jim. I think chicken and fish might be more your speed, honestly. But I don't know that for sure. I don't even know what you look like. But that's the thing. You just gotta... That's a ladybug. It's an old ladybug. You just gotta try different things until you find what works for you. I'm having a bit of a chest cold. My chest is acting up. Got a headache, so I'm not going to stream too long tonight. I made this milkshake. I was already planning on making a milkshake tonight, and I'm really glad I did, because for having like a cough, dry cough, kind of lung pain like right here, headache, a milkshake works wonders for that. So I wouldn't say I'm disappointed on the strawberries. I shouldn't be surprised, but it's a nice flavor additive, you know. It does the trick. It's a fix. Thankfully for me, I still have some dank strawberries left in the freezer, so I shall be partaking in those the next time I have a milkshake. Maybe tomorrow. I don't feel so good. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Scar tissue on genital. Whoa. That is a little TMI, maybe. You know, that's a pretty sensitive skin area. I have a pretty big scar on my genital area, too, because I was tortured. Tortured and mutilated just hours after my birth. So, yeah. Olive oil. Applying olive oil. The body care cream, as recipes in the book. I can't think of anything else right now, but I would try those things. Okay, when are you going to make the sleep video? What are some tips you have for me right now? I'm going to make the sleep video this week. I did an alcohol video today and the herd share video today. I need to get that rolling. For sleep, big things are make sure you have enough protein throughout the day. It's really important. 8 to 12 eggs is good. Or make sure you're getting in meat, but earlier in the day. More your meat earlier in the day. Because the thing is the eggs digest so fast, it gives you your body ready to use protein. So it supplies you with that protein throughout the day, through the night, so you don't have anything to keep you up. So the meat would have to be earlier as well. More fats in general, very calming for the nervous system. Milkshakes, lubes, nut formula. So eating a nut formula twice a week, but never 3 days in a row. So you can eat it 2 to 3 days a week, I guess. That would be a good thing to eat. Sometimes people have a need for cooked starches. I'm going to do a starch video soon. I have a recipe I want to share. Any starch with a lot of fat, basically. You could also try the classic milk and honey before bed. Warmed milk and honey. Not like hot, but like 80 degrees. You know, just not cold. Drink that before bed. 3 hours before you plan to fall asleep. Also, try to get some moist clay. Check out my playlist on clay. And mix in about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons, in 8 to 12 ounces of milk. And drink that, sip that in 15 minutes or so. And do that at least 3 hours before you go to bed. So, the sleep thing is kind of like, are you waking up in the middle of the night? Are you not able to fall asleep? You know, what is it? But those are generally all the things. One thing is if you do vegetable juice at the end of the day, lettuce in your vegetable juice. It's got opiate precursors, very calming for the nerves, 10%. Bill Jim has to agree with that assessment. Spot on. Am I good or what, Bill Jim? Give me some credit. Give me some props. Frozen berries are fine. You can freeze any fruit. Frozen fruit is fine. How do you do the hot water bottle thing, and what does it do again? So you just get a hot water bottle. Right? And then you fill this up. So my tap water comes out at 150 degrees, which is 10 degrees hotter than that's recommended going here. But the thermal transfer is so fast, like, it's fine. I'm not really worried about it. This is pretty durable stuff. And, yeah, I just fill it straight out of the tap. What you can do is, if you really want to make it last long, is, so this is cold right now, so you fill it up with hot water, and then you use it, or you could fill it up with hot water, dump it out, fill it up again, because you warm it up. So you're filling up a warm hot water bottle is different than filling up a cold hot water bottle. Then you just use this as needed. I use it as a pillow. I'm going to use it as a pillow when I watch anime after this, because my head hurts really bad. You can use it behind on the neck here where the head works, and that's a nice little pillow. It's water, so it kind of forms to your spine. You can put it under your clothes. You can put it on your hands. You can put it on your feet. You can put it on your groin. You can put it on your back. You know, there's so many ways to use a hot water bottle. Get creative. Wrap it up in a towel. If you want to replicate sweating with hot water bottles, you need at least 3 of them, and then bundle up in a bunch of blankets or a sleeping bag, and that will give you a good sweat. If you don't feel like taking a bath or you can't take a bath. Lloyd struggled with street. I've been doing better with eggs, but then I ran out. I struggled last night. Now I have some. Getting fat also helped. Yeah, exactly. Brother, this is tiring me out. I always hear about lubrication formulas and raw milk combinations that look super delicious. And it makes me sad because I still can't drink milk, since plus it upsets my stomach badly. I have to eat more eggs for my daily fat intake. Yeah, You can also get animal fat trimmings. Is good. It's interesting. You can't eat any dairy at all. No cheese and honey. No cream. No butter. Sleep problems have been different as I troubleshoot things. Very shaky and high energy. Warm milk, raw honey are the best for sleep. Yep, they're good. What do you think about honey and fruit? The fruit should be at least 1 cup a day, right? Honey is much better, isn't it, if you want some sweet? Yeah. Always choose always choose honey over fruit. If you need something sweet, always honey over fruit. We're better off without fruit. There's no minimum amount of fruits on the diet. One thing that would be beneficial is unripe pineapple or papaya every few days, like half a cup to a cup, because that has enzymes in it that help digest things. They're very corrosive. If you leave pineapple on your skin, it hurts. So that's for the reason why. I didn't say what it's for. I didn't say what it's for. What didn't I say what's it for? What do it do, dude? What are you talking about? I haven't had fruit in like 7 months, but I've had honey. Yeah, you don't need fruit. You're better off without fruit, honestly. Unless you need a specific formula to attack something. Like if you've been exposed to chlorine, there's a chlorine remover formula. It's in my playlist. It's in my recipe. I listened to this on audio, and I did it like 2 years before they published all the transcripts. So, your boy's already ahead of the game doing the homework nobody else is doing. The hot water bottles. Oh, I mean, it's to help you sweat. It's to help bring healing to an area if it's sore. Obviously, you put heat on something if it's sore. It helps. Pretty self-explanatory. Eating pineapple every day. That's fine if you can tolerate it. Very good for the irises. I was talking about that today in my school with somebody on the call. He's very motivated to change his eye color like everybody, but it's kind of a non-starter. It's not easy like for most people. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen very fast. I've got noticeable eye color changes, but I've been on the diet 8 years, and that's probably year 7 that happened. So, you have to be patient. Unless you can do you probably need to spend around $2,000, $3,000 on food a month and do baths every day. I mean, I'm saying $2,000 to $3,000 on the diet. So that's, baths, pineapple, oysters, a lot of cheese, a lot of fats, grapefruit, scallops, and fish and beef, a lot of butter. That's what you're looking at to really speed up the iris stuff. What do you think about waiting a year on the diet and then slowly adding fermented milk? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very logical approach. Thoughts on suppositories? They seem to be important but not talked about that much. Yeah, suppositories are good. If you have dry constipation and stools, a suppository will help. It's also very calming and relaxing, so it may help you go to bed too. Feeding the colon directly like that is a good option. I used to do them once a week when I was having my insomnia and tinnitus crisis, and it really helped those evenings I would do it. And I think it helped me gain weight faster and heal faster too. Granted, I still have tinnitus, but my insomnia was cured in 8 months, 7 months. How beneficial and effective are the hot water bottles? It depends on how you use them. It depends. It depends on what the use is. If you have an injury, yeah, putting heat on it is beneficial. It's very beneficial. Like my chest is congested. Putting a hot water bottle here would be a really good idea right now. Having a massive migraine or headache, having a hot water bottle to land would be a good idea. I need to rework my Amazon storefront. I'm going to rework this probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to have all the links up there, you guys, for everything I use, have used, and you'll have one place to go and find and look at things. I'm putting up everything that I've ever used. I'm going to try to not put up products I haven't used because I want it to be, real. But unless I know from someone firsthand that it's good, I wouldn't put it up if I haven't used it. But so yeah, we're gonna have hot water bottles up and these glasses and all kinds of things. I made some errors with my store and I need to fix it. So they told me I had to delete it and start over. So I've got to do that. So we're gonna do that. I feel like being short is meta for saving money and being fat. Yeah, it's pretty good. Agonus was a short king too. I'm about as tall as Agonus. Okay, so I'm probably a little shorter now because my posture's terrible and my hips are very tight. But when I'm stretching and in shape and my posture's on point, I'm about 5'8.5". And I actually grew on the diet 3/4 of an inch. When I was 29, from my last checkup, I grew 3/4 of an inch. So there you go. And like my face did get whiter a little bit. So, drink your fermented milk, eat your beef. 8 months till you cured insomnia. That sounds really bad. How was it? Oh, it was terrible. I wanted to die. Every day I thought about just ending it, just logging off pretty much every day because I was like, I don't know that this is ever going to end. I can't imagine that this will be my life. And if it is going to be my life, I can't live like this. This is terrible. So yeah, it's really bad. I know someone who has worse insomnia with me. He's kind of turned a corner, but he has flare-ups with his issue every now and again. He used to eat a lot of salt. He was on the plasma. But I've been coaching him and checking in on him every month or so. He's still with us, thank goodness. It'll be about a year for him in 2 months. So his detox, I hope, is wrapping up. And this is kind of the last flare-ups he's having. But yeah, like when you get sleep deprived, you literally become crazy. Not well. I don't remember a lot of my life. I do not remember when I had insomnia. That's how bad it was. Because my mind wasn't where I was sleep deprived. I hardly remember what went on that year. It's kind of scary. And the tinnitus is another issue because it's like you can't turn off your hearing. It's like always ringing, which also leads to cognitive and mental declines. So, lucky me. But yeah, to cure, it just worked. The detox just ran its course. It was an adrenaline detox on my nerves. Gaining weight helped. Suppositories helped. Clay with milk helped. Cheese helped. Starches helped. Nut formula helped. White meat helped. Sour cream helped. Milkshakes helped. All those things. Just doing all those things. Eventually, one day, I realized I woke up and I felt decent. And I realized I'd slept for 6 hours straight. And when I realized I slept for 6 hours straight, I was like, it's over. It's done. It was in June. I started having insomnia in November. In November-ish. October, November-ish. And it was over in June. The following year. So, yeah, that's how you cure it. You just eat foods and get better. That's how it happens. You basically did a stand-up set at the conference. I was laughing. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was a monologue. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. I did get a lot of laughs at the conference, though, as you can hear. So, pretty proud of that. I thought about just doing more stand-ups and open mics just to get better at speaking and timing and, crowd play and that stuff. I just don't really have the time for it right now. I'm working extra. Guy wants to flip this house, so I'm working on it a lot. You know, days and nights. So, like, I just don't really have time to... I need time for myself. I'm a big me time kind of guy. I need my anime. I need my milkies. Primal needs his milkies. And I need my me time to recharge. So, you know, for me, going out to a stand-up event and paying $5 whole to bomb in front of a crowd, like, not very appealing. Having to sit through other people bombing, not, like, super appealing. I feel like I could get some laughs, though. Insomnia makes you feel inhuman, bro. It's scary. Yeah, exactly. It was not fun. It was the dark times. The dark days. How much plasma did dude drink to get so damaged? He was doing a lot. Like, over 10 grams a day. What caused my insomnia? Just detox. Adrenaline detox. I don't think it was anything... Because I was on the diet for 3 years at this point. 3-4 years at this point. Something like that. I don't even remember what year it was. Let's see here. Was it 2022? Yeah, it was 2022. So that was my 4th year, going into my 4th year on the diet. And all of a sudden, just like I couldn't sleep. I was waking up, and it was terrible. It was an awful time. I didn't know what was going on. So, and this is my kind of my origin story. I had this terrible insomnia, right? No one could help me. No one could help me. I'm telling you this. I asked everybody. I was desperate for answers. I was desperate for solutions. And nobody had... They'd be like, oh, just eat cheese. Oh, just eat the nut formula. It didn't work. It didn't work. So I would take baths twice a week for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I would sit in the bathtub and I would listen to every single autogenous audio recording I could get my hands on to learn, to find something that could help me. And eventually I did, and it was, oh yeah, insomnia, like, yeah, it just kind of happens. It's a nerve detox, it's adrenaline detox, and you basically just have to write it out and eat foods, and, you know, you have to basically be awake from midnight to 5 a.m. every day and try to sleep around those times. Couldn't do that. So, yeah, it was terrible, it was awful. I tried everything, the starches. The clay and milk helped the most, but it caused some constipation. Like real constipation. And it wasn't pleasant, it wasn't fun. So I had to work out a good dosing on the clay and milk, the hot baths, the water bottles, hot water bottles for relaxation and helping speed up the detox, gaining weight, took time, suppositories. So I had to come up with my own protocols and my own solutions because I found out very quickly that most people you talk to online don't do the diet. Or they haven't done the diet that long. They're lying about it. It's crazy. So, like, you think you're asking a question to, like, a reliable group of people, but it's all people. It's even worse now because I talk to a lot of people, and they don't even read the books. They haven't even read the books. It's like, oh, I just look on autogenous.net, or I ask ChatGPT. It's like, okay, that's not good because you're offloading your learning. So to, like, understand your health and the diet, you need to read the books. Autogenous did not take clients unless he read the books. So the audios were very helpful for me in coming up with solutions. And then I just stuck to those solutions for 8 months. And I just waited. And, yeah. So when you see these people who eat raw meat for 6 months because they saw somebody do it online, and then they open a school for like $30 a month to live like their ancestors, to reclaim your health. It's a scam. These people are scam artists. Another example. I was talking about this. Like, I don't really want to, like, call people out or whatever, but it's true. I kind of feel like I should say something because people get led on who are desperate for answers, like I was. Because, I mean, I've been there. I've been there 100%, and I was very desperate to find issues for, solutions for my issues, my tinnitus and my insomnia. And I tried, like, all kinds of things. And You just lead people on and take their money, and you lie to them because you're a scammer and you have no integrity. So like there's this, it's crazy. One of my people, someone in my school or a client, he's like, hey, I had a iridology reading from this guy Mason. And I was like, oh yeah, what did he say? He's like, well, I don't know what to do. What do I eat? I have heavy metals in my brain. It's like, yeah, no dip. Everybody has heavy metals in your brain. I could look at somebody and know if they have heavy metals in their brain just because they live in a city. The dude scammed you. I had to tell him, I'm like, this guy scammed you. This person scammed you. They don't know iridology. They probably typed it into ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT. Or they just are making things up. A real iridologist would be able to look at your iris and they'd be able to tell you exactly what kinds of metals and where in the brain they are. That's not, telling someone you have heavy metals in the brain, anybody could do that. And like, what'd you pay for this? A couple $100? I'm sorry, but you got scammed because these people are out there scamming people using AI and ripping off Ogenus basically, watering it down, and selling it. Like the internet is so good for scammers, it's crazy. It's shame. I've been through the trenches. I've been down bad in my health. I've had to look for my own issues and implement my own solutions. That's not something I see from people who have YouTube channels or schools or whatever, academies that do this kind of content. I don't see that. I see people who start posting several months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago, saying they've been on the diet for 5 years, obviously lying, photoshopping their facial growth, and charging like $80 for a school per month. And then I see people, and people who probably had plastic surgery, to be honest with you, or some sort of cosmetic procedures, using filters, wearing contact lenses to change their eye color, photoshopping their eye color. It's crazy, you guys. And people just eat it up because I don't know why. I mean, people are just stupid, I guess. So I'm sorry if that's you, but I hope you don't get scammed. That's why I'm saying this, because if you are looking into these channels, like they're just scamming you. Someone who starts eating raw meat for 6 months doesn't know anything about the diet or health issues, who's in good health already and just starts doing this. Someone who claims to be an iridology expert and is like 17 years old is not an iridology expert, my friend. That is a scammer. That is a scammer. Especially if they're like, yeah, I've been eating this way for 5 years. They're lying. Kids, if you were a kid and you were eating this diet, you would be posting about it on social media. Like, really. Like, because I see it. I see kids, eating the ground beef, and, they're not doing it right. They're just chugging a bunch of milk, eating a bunch of crappy ground beef that's been frozen. Terrible. Yeah, it's like, you don't know what you're doing, and that's okay, but, if you were doing that, you'd probably be posting about it on social media. Not all of a sudden, oh, hey, look at me. I'm a iridology expert, and I'm a diet expert. And you look at their physiques. The physiques are the giveaway. These people, if they've been eating this much meat and on the diet for this long, they should have a V-taper, first of all. Bare minimum, V-taper. They should have rounded shoulders. Their neck should be muscular. They should have a wider face. They should have forearm definition. Like all these things. They should have a broader chest. They should have a bigger chest, but they don't. It's because they're scammers, they're liars, and you can just see in their physique. I can look at somebody and I can know how long they've been on the diet, how well they've been on the diet, or what their health is. If they were sick, if you were sick and you started eating this way, that's one thing, but a lot of these people weren't sick. So anyway, I'm gonna cool down from that, catch up on the chat. So I'm glad you pushed through, and it shows there's hope to not give up. Yeah, I want to interview my my client when he's all better and he's ready to do so. so you can hear from him as well what his experience was like. And it's the worst I've ever heard. It was even worse than mine because he couldn't even sleep at all any time of day. I could get like 4 hours. He could get like an hour and a half. He could take 2 hours if he took a clozapam, which is like super sedative, knock you out drug. Still only 2 hours. And he was taking very high grade pharmaceuticals. So like this kid was totally cooked. But yeah, he's getting better. I want to interview him and put his story out there if he's comfortable with it. I don't know if he'll be on camera. He's not a very social media type of guy, but I think just hearing from him and what he did will be helpful as well. Why do we get adrenaline detoxes? Because the adrenaline... Hold on. Because when you're skinny, especially when you're skinny, or you're doing lots of adrenaline-inducing activity, or you're consuming a lot of caffeine, you create a lot of adrenaline in the body, your endocrine system. Your endocrine system, when you're skinny or you're not eating like good foods, will overproduce fats because the hormones are fats. It will overproduce them for energy. And your endocrine system gets burned out. And then your nerves get basically polluted with adrenaline, as well as heavy metals. But it also comes from things like salt, too, because when salt detoxes from the body, it creates an adrenaline reaction. So this is why we detox adrenaline. It's the nervous system detoxifying, which plays in with the endocrine system as well, especially if you've had a lot of drugs, caffeine. I was on ADD medication when I was in high school for 2.5 years. And that was terrible because like I would take 30 milligrams of this stuff called Vyvanse every morning. I wouldn't be able to eat breakfast, maybe a little bit. I'd be able to eat a couple bites of a turkey sandwich with mayonnaise and a few potato chips every day at school. And then I would go home and eat dinner, mostly. And then I would lay in bed until 4, 5 in the morning, fall asleep at 6, wake up, take a pill, start over again. That was my life, mostly. And then I would sleep on the weekends. I'd sleep 12, 13 hours. That was my life in high school for 2 years. My grades went up, sure. But it was not good. So, yeah, all those things add up and store in the body. And they come out eventually. I'm moving schools for better sleep, though. That's good. 30 minutes to drive. Yeah, that's awful. Because of your insomnia, you started being more careful with lights at night, right? No, actually. I started this red light stuff. I've always been interested in ambient lighting in different colors. At first, I would turn off my lights at night. I saw this video. Actually, it was by... Theoria apophasis, Ken Wheeler. He talked about LED dangers, and when he was talking about that, I looked into it more. So I started to look at like why LED lights are bad, and I noticed they put them up everywhere and how bad it is. And I noticed my phone, like using my phone at night, made me sleep less. So I started looking into blue light. I was like, oh, okay. So I started using the sunlight filter. I used Flux. I've been using Flux ever since it came out, which has been it's been years. But I was using Flux more for eye strain in general, not because of sleep. But I finally bought some red lights about a year ago. These incandescent bulbs. Recently I got some red light tape from Amazon. I put over my LED light fixtures, and I use it at night. And it makes a huge difference. These I would wear always at night. And I got these probably, around the same time a year ago. I finally decided to get some blue light blockers. But no, I fixed my insomnia issue before I started fixing my light environment. And so, yeah. That's what happens when you listen to Darko. It could be. Are you currently in the trades right now, or do you do a desk job? Well, so I do property management, basically. I'm not like a full-on tradesman, but I do like a lot of painting, sanding, landscaping more than anything. But recently I've been working on a house, painting and sanding and putting doors on and taking doors off. Just like pretty simple stuff, but it's, you know, it is what it is. In the winter, I will transition to working inside at a desk, just doing some number crunching for the real estate person I work for. The beast who couldn't sleep. Honestly, herbs would have helped you immediately in that situation. I don't know. I've had bad experiences with herbs, honestly. One time I made a baked potato with cheese and butter, and then I thought, oh, this would be a good idea. I'll put some thyme and some basil in there, and it'll be really tasty. And I ate it, and then, like, 5 minutes later, I threw everything up. So I don't know if herbs will work. I'm 16. Do you reckon I'll detox quicker and have an eye color change quicker? I mean, it's possible. Like I said, it just depends on how well you do those things. The bath, the cheese, the pineapple, the meat and the fat, the scallops and the fish. All those things are going to help change your eye color faster. And it depends on, how you detox through the bowels, through the skin. It depends. Your eye color shows intracellular and intercellular toxicity and how your body stores toxins. I'm not like an expert on that, but that's just what Ogenus has mentioned from his readings. Again, the younger you start, the better. So, yeah, I mean, the younger you stay away from all the pharmaceuticals and junk, the better off you'll be. I also tried getting lean and my health kept declining. Once I gained some fat, my acne decreased a lot. Yep. I was talking to somebody in the school about that today. He said, I had really bad acne, but once I started gaining weight, it went away. I mean, he's like, well, the breakouts stopped. The big breakouts stopped. If you buy a course from Marcus, a 16-year-old kid, you deserve to be scammed. Yeah, some truth to that probably. How is my tinnitus these days? Tinnitus, actually, is how it's really pronounced. It's quieter for sure, but some days it's worse than others. When I go through a detox, like I have a headache like I do now, it gets worse. If I'm around loud settings, it's worse. If I don't sleep well, it gets worse. But in general, it's probably the quietest it's been, the least I've noticed it. So, onward and upward. Godus has started a whole movement of grifters. Yeah. Someone who never reversed disease really cannot teach anyone. That's why Ogenus was the OG, went from dying to thriving. Yeah. Ogenus did like to stretch the truth, though, a little bit. It'd be interesting to know from his family and friends just how sick he was. Although I know Awanza, I know people who know her, and she was in video conference, for the Primal Diet Conference, and she told her story, and she's 79. She was supposed to die like 35 years ago, 40 years ago, and she just spoke very highly of Ogenus and the diet and everything she was doing. She looked great. She's a little like out there, like a little far out there, hippy-dippy kind of stuff, but, just seemed like a very sweet, wholesome lady. 79, I couldn't believe it. Louis Kangami, he was Ogenus's best friend, his BFF. He's 80 years old, and he's been on the diet ever since Ogenus. He was Ogenus's first client, and he looks great for 80. He looks like he's late 60s. early 70s. And yeah, so like there's a lot of people who are thriving on the diet. Phoenix, he had, I think it was his wife. He started doing the diet because of his wife. And to help her through it, because she had Lyme disease, and all her Lyme disease symptoms went away now, and she is like perfectly fine. So like yeah, there's a lot of people who had serious injuries and stuff. And one girl who comes to the conference, she couldn't eat anything. She would throw up every time she ate something, no matter what it was. And she proudly proclaimed, she's like, I would rather die than go back to the hospital again. Because she spent 2 years with this issue. She had a lot of vomiting. It was bad for her teeth and her skin and her throat, all that acid. And she started eating, I think, fish. Like fish was like what she could eat. And then she started doing a little chicken and cheese. Like she really needs the cheese and the chicken. But just out of nowhere, like this just happened to her. But yeah, so there's a lot of people miraculously healing. My insomnia detox, you could say, was brought on by the diet. But I got through it. But I didn't have sleep problems before that. Never in my life. What are my thoughts on GOTUS? I don't think about them. Drank a lot of coffee and energy drinks for years. When I switched to rawprimal, I felt better, but still off. Once I started drinking vegetable juices with raw meat, I feel so much better. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, the vegetable juices are great. Very easily assimilated, digestible energy. And, yeah. Let's see here. Is this... yeah, okay. That's up. Needed to check the school for something. Yeah. A lot of good energy in vegetable juices. Part of me wonders if he is faking his illness. Look how much money he's received. Who's faking his illness? I don't know. You missed me on the loop with that one. I feel like throwing up right now. What's the reason? I'm curious to know if these eggs I got are bad quality. They run free, but sometimes get scraps. Yeah, they're probably not the best. They're probably not the worst. If you feel like throwing up, it's just your stomach feels like turning. I have thrown up before, not from meat that I can remember, but I've had vegetable juice, and 15 minutes later I got very warm, and then I threw up, and then I felt better. I've drank a milkshake. I felt nauseous. I drank milkshake, and then I threw up. It just comes on, when your body just starts dumping stuff into the stomach, your stomach's just going to say, oh no, and you're going to throw it up, and then you feel better. Cheese is good for nausea. Does turning off the Wi-Fi before sleep work? Yes. Yeah, if you can turn off the Wi-Fi, better yet, if you could turn off the breaker in your house or apartment, that'd be the best. I need to buy some. I don't know. We're talking about buy some what? Reform work looks fun. I don't know what that means. Why do people go from light hair as children to having dark hair as adults? I don't know. I had very blonde hair when I was a kid. I had brown eyes, but I had very blonde hair. I haven't noticed my hair getting lighter or darker. I don't know what that is. My beard hair is black. It's very black. But yeah, I have dark brown hair, generally. Do you think Audrus is still alive? No, I don't think so. What is a toxin-free life like? Surely there's still everyday toxins that enter your body. How is it handled, and what is it like living? Yeah, so, I live in a... I don't live in the country, but I don't live in the city. But I'm still exposed to car exhaust. You go into places, they got fragrances. Your house is a terrible source of, air pollution. So, buy a respirator to use if you work and stuff. or to have in case of emergencies. Get plants. I have a snake plant here. Doesn't need a lot of light. Doesn't need a lot of attention. I've got a bunch of other plants in the other room. Like 20-something plants. I got 2 8-foot tall ficus trees. I talked about this yesterday, all my plants. Yeah, so plants really help the air in the feng shui. Red lights at night is very good. It's better to not have lights, honestly, but like, I'm a productive person. I'm a busy man. I have things to do. I cannot get everything done during the day. So we use the flux, we use the red lights, and we use the glasses, and that's good enough for me. Let me go to live chat. I'm sorry. What about Brandon Buckingham? Oh, yeah, I don't think Brandon's faking it. I mean, he parties really hard and he's very skinny. So I'm pretty sure all that binge drinking caught up with him. He would drink like a couple handles or a bottle of hard liquor for every video he did. And he would do other drugs at the gathering of the Juggalos. He had a problem with opioids for years, I guess, a couple years. Like before he started his channel. So, I mean, the guy's been through the ringer. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was having organ failures. I have really bad breathing spasms. I think it was caused by acid reflux frying my vocal cords. Could be. I smoked a bit and noticed it made me breathe harder. Yeah, I had, like I split a cigarette with a friend at the Scuffed Realtor live show. I was working for Nick Rochford and Alex Schultz of $1 Million Extreme. And I was hanging with my friend Cal, and he was hanging out. And I'm pretty sure I only got the urge to smoke because I was drinking a craft cream soda, and I didn't have a lot of food with me that day because I was busy running around, and I thought I had more eggs in my lunchbox. I didn't. So I just felt the need to supplement with nicotine. I was like, ooh, one drag won't hurt. One drag turned into like 17 drags through the course of the night. And I smoked, with my fist, so, because I don't like the smoke, the heat of the smoke, so I just, wrap the cigarette around this part of my hand, and I make a grip, and then I inhale from my hand, so you get the smoke that way. And man, let me tell you what, that was the first cigarette in years. It felt so good. I was buzzing. It felt so good. I miss smoking so much, but it's so bad. I'm pretty sure that's why I got a cold. I got a cold like the following week. I just felt it through like my whole body, kind of nasty. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Set it off. But yeah, it's bad. And of course, I'm coughing now. Maybe that has something to do with it too. So I mean, you're never going to get rid of all the toxins. The trick is to gain weight, gain fat, and eat lots of fats so you can tolerate them. Veg juices made my breathing spasms milder, less painful. Awesome. Lots of papaya on skin for scarring on the peen. Too harsh? No. You could probably try pineapple, but I would start with like olive oil, apple cider vinegar. Well, maybe not apple cider vinegar. Probably pineapple. A little pineapple. Maybe a little fat on there. Olive oil and pineapple, maybe. That's just going to take a long time. Thoughts on urine therapy? I don't really have thoughts on it. I know a lot of people swear by it. I've read of people like doing sinus cleanses with urine. I think that's probably not a bad idea. If you need that, that's something I would try. I wouldn't drink urine. Using urine topically on acne and such is a good idea. It works very well. Take off the filtered comments. I'm not filtering any comments. No comments are being filtered. I need to buy red light bulbs. Yeah, it's pretty hard to find them though. Am I Russian? No. 0. Mostly Italian. My family comes from Siena and Calabria. And then I have some German and Irish, Scottish mixed in. That's my heritage mostly. So, if I wanted to try some drugs or get drunk, could I just get super fat to tank the toxins? I guess you could. I wouldn't recommend it though. Comment filters. No, I don't have comment filters on, guys. Like, I promise you, I checked yesterday. I'm not filtering comments. They're off. Moderation is off. So it's the YouTube who's doing it, not me. Not my settings. There's nothing I can do about it. Just like the bass player from Van Halen who chugged Jack Daniels, but it was simply apple juice. Yeah, Michael Anthony, underrated part of the band, honestly. World is a stage. Basically, everything's fake except this channel, which is cool. Thanks. Archive OP is Italian. Yeah. Does cabbage juice helps detox lungs? No. The best thing for the lungs is ice cream and milkshakes. Ice cream and milkshakes and eating lungs. Fermenting lungs. That's why I'm drinking a milkshake right now. For more mucus, I have some duck eggs in here, strawberries, honey, a lot of cream, like a cup of cream, half a cup of milk. I'll try that, I guess, with the olive oil, dilute with acids a bit. How long do you think it takes to dissolve scars? Yeah, it's going to take many, many months, maybe years. I don't, I've never tried to dissolve scars. I feel like they tell a story, and they look cool. Chicks dig scars. Do I think Jeffrey is still alive? Probably. Optimal diet for Joe Biden? Chocolate chip ice cream. A gallon of chocolate chip ice cream a day. That's what he needs. That's what old Joe needs. Old corn pop. You blow my nose. Where's my hanky? There it is. Yeah, see my nose is drying out. Forgive my cough. Coughed, acting up. Yeah, I'm coming down with something. Scars on pen do not look good. Like I said, man, what are you going to do there? I mean, I was mutilated at birth. I'm not going to worry about it. Someday I'll find a nice woman to say, she'll look at my circumcision scar and she'll look at me and say, I wish I was there to protect you. You ever see that meme? That's a pretty funny meme. No way, Siena. My great-grandparents went to medical school there 100 years ago. Lerner Ernst. Not exactly Italian. Yeah, not Italian at all. They'll sound pretty kosher. I stopped caring about height, but I'm still curious the chances of growing. Yes, you're going to grow. You're 16. You still have time to grow. Drink your fermented milk. Eat your red meat. Eat plenty of fish. Eat lots of sardines, raw sardines. Eat the cheese and honey. Eat the oysters. Work out. Joe Biden needs to eat raw organs and blood. No, he needs chocolate chip ice cream. Corn Pop, he deserves all the chocolate chip ice cream he can get. Nah, but for real, Andrew, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know when my family... I think my family originated from Siena like many, many years ago. Like more than 100 years ago. Because I have cousins who live like the northeast coast. Not quite Venice area, but south of that. And Abruzzo region. So... What's special about fermented milk? It's got more minerals. It's got more minerals. It's more easily digested. know. I think I offended Andrew. He got mad and left. Let me know if you're still here, Andrew. I was just giving you a hard time. It's all good. He took his like and then he left the stream. Do I drink organ milkshakes after a taste threw it straight in the toilet? Oh, yeah. No, I don't drink. I don't eat organs anymore, really. The organ milkshakes, if the organs are good, it's not too bad. No. Good. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, kidneys really don't taste good. You can't really do anything to make it taste good. I would make the organ shakes not for palatability so much as ease of consumption. That's why I did it. I'm 17, stop caring about anything. I'm just trying to detox my spasms. Yeah, you need the lube formula for those, D. Probably a quart of lube formula a day, I would suggest. Organ milkshakes are disgusting. Don't know how you were drinking them in your documentary. Nah, dude. They're not disgusting. I actually craved liver in the organ milkshakes because I needed them. But now I don't. I would, if I was going to get some liver, I would pate it and put on eggs and honey and milk and drink it up. You know? Or just chug it. So, they're not that bad. I mean, I get pretty good organs, so it's probably an issue of, like, lack of quality, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what to say, boss. Kidney is kind of like if concrete were a natural food. You know, I'm not entirely sure I understand that statement, but I agree with it on a spiritual level. Thank you for sharing. Without getting all ominous obsessive, what are some quick diet or lifestyle additions for maximizing height? I just told you. Fermented milk, oysters and scallops, red meat, plenty of butter, cheese and honey. I don't know about royal jelly, but it's worth a shot if you want to do it. Bone marrow. That's what you need to eat. And work out. Please don't ask me that again. You've already answered it twice. Do you think Goatus eats the big cuts of liver he always flaunts in his day of eating videos? He probably eats some of it. I don't buy it. Bro takes a bite and probably throws it away in garbage. Yeah, I don't think he eats all of it either. It would be miserable. Imagine doing that for like 8, 9 years. 9 years? He'd been doing the diet 9 years, I think. He'd been doing the diet 9 years? Yeah. That's terrible. That's miserable. Yeah, it'll be funny. All these people copying Goatus, they're not going to be eating that way in 5 years. Half of them will be on the primal diet, and half of them won't be. Half of them won't be on the diet at all. They're going to get a detox, and they're going to get scared and run away and stop. Go ahead and run me by the foods for growing taller. Funny guy. You're a comedian now, man. You're a comedian. Yeah, it's funny. Someone posted the Marcus video to my school. Too funny. Yeah, people are sending me his comment section. They didn't really. I almost feel bad for the kid, but that's what you get for trying to scam people. Where's the... There it is. I laugh when Goatus pretends to not know about videos or certain topics on the internet when he is chronically online. Yeah. Milk genius. Thank you. Yeah. Being chronically online is no good. I'm a little more online than I'd like to be, but it's not too bad. I've reached a point where like nothing ever happens, nothing matters. You know, I've gone like full chud, so that makes it easier. Um, I try to stay up on the memes, you know, to communicate with the youth for the channel such as this, you know, to speak the lingo, to you know, use good thumbnails. I'm a little disappointed my SpongeBob video didn't do so well. I thought more people would get a kick out of the Diet Dr. Kelp, but I guess not. Marcus was shitting on my video. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really surprised. But at the end of the day, it seemed like everybody in the comments was just clowning on him, so he just made a fool of himself. Straight to the asylum. Wasn't he like glazing nature not too long ago? He's probably still glazing nature. Never go full chud. Yeah, I guess not. He regurgitating talking points. Yeah, he is. Yeah, like I said, when he does the diet long enough and he goes through a detox, like a real detox, he's gonna get scared. He'll probably go to the hospital. I'll probably quit the diet. A constant state of euphoria. Yeah, that's insanity. That's called being insane. You do feel good on the diet sometimes. He's high all the time. Yeah, no way. Adrenaline rush from being on the lam. Yep. Why would you want to be high all the time, though? Yeah, you don't. Who cares about Marcus? He is a nobody. He is kind of a nobody. I didn't even know who he was. I mean, he kind of looks like every other go-to-cell who makes videos. I've probably seen him, but like I didn't know. When you said Marcus, I was like, what? Who? Am I supposed to know who that is? He didn't tag me. So somebody sent me the video and the shots. And yeah, it is what it is. What is the bad detox method? Hold on to your Agenus plushie and thug it out. An Agenus plushie is suitable for light detoxes, but if you're going through like a really strong detox, you need the Agenus body pillow. You gotta have the Agenus body pillow. That will help you get through it much faster and with less symptoms. The plushie is not going to be able to take on all the bad energy and toxins, but the body pillow is always going to be there for you. Euphoria is a symptom of bipolar, coincidentally. Yeah, exactly. It's mental illness. It's manic. It's manic states of being. Manic psychosis. Manic narcissistic psychopath. No. Feeling euphoric you wouldn't be able to do that consistently because it's not possible. That would just be baseline. So, yeah. Wow. 6 viewers? Okay, 4 viewers. I might get a few more minutes here, and then I gotta pop off and watch anime and lay down. My head hurts. I need to turn my Wi-Fi on. There we go. So, yeah, we need to do that. So, I'll be taking last call at questions. I did research on it for a meme. But he could be in manic states induced by all the fruits he eats. It's probably not because of the fruits. It's probably just because he's mentally unstable. Ugh. That's usually what it is. Let's be real. Only 500 more hours until monetization, guys. He made it. Stop watching anime. Marcus ain't wrong when he says you're a slave. He said I was a slave? That's funny. Yeah. I mean, Walker says I'm a slave too. You know how that silly that is. Anime is not for dweebtards. Anime is very cool. Thank you, Microwave Capri Sun 7. I'm a slave for watching UFC. Oh yeah, he did say that. I mean, he's more of a slave for watching Godus and regurgitating his talking points. Like, I don't watch UFC just to watch UFC. I watch UFC because I used to fight and compete at a very high level. I was a internationally ranked knockdown fighter, lightweight fighter in Kyokushin karate. So I have a knowledge of the fighting game, and I appreciate. I never used to watch UFC. I was not interested in the UFC until I started doing karate and competing and fighting, because then I started to understand fighting, and now I can watch it, and I understand what's going on. I can appreciate what's going on. So, you know, and there is, UFC is rigged sometimes. I will say that. Like with the judge cards, especially Sean O'Malley. A lot of his fights were thrown in his favor, I believe, if they went to decision. So, yeah, I mean, to call someone a slave who understands the fight game is not really... It's very low IQ of him. There's honey on my fingers. My typing is slower. Yeah, I get that. Stop watching cartoons. No. I like watching anime. If you're against fighting, it's because you have never been punched in the face. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to stop watching anime. What am I going to do at night before I go to bed to relax? No one has given me a good alternative. No one. I don't want to watch something intellectually stimulating. I don't want to study anything. I don't want to read. I just want to chill for an hour before I go to bed. Sometimes I fall asleep on the couch. Is that such a crime? Is that such a bad thing to do? No. Okay, I was having some feeling of adrenaline for like 20 minutes, thinking it was going to affect sleep. But it went away. Is this because the oxygen is plushy? Yeah, probably. Create, don't consume. What do you think I'm doing, Bill? What is this? I made 2 videos today, and I'm streaming. I get a break. I get a break. So, yeah. Like, come on. That is not a good alternative archive. I'm putting you in timeout for that. You're in timeout. Archive channel 839 is in timeout. It's too late. It's too late. You deleted your... Oh, I deleted it, yeah. No. The best way to get better at telling stories is to read stories. Exactly. Watch more anime. I don't need to watch more anime. I just need to watch the standard amount of anime I've been watching, which is typically 40 minutes to an hour, 1 to 3 episodes an evening. So, yeah. I think people who don't watch anime are slaves. They're a slave to mediocrity and not be in being very uncool. So, you created a PA Part 1 and 2. I created Primal Asylum Part 1 and 2. I did? I'm hoping to get the Audrey's Modern Planet's massage chair, but it's so expensive. Potentially Part 3. Yeah, come on, Bill. I understand create, not consume. I used to play music for 14 years. I make content. I've been making content for 5 years. I do thumbnails now. I like to, I write, I guess, sometimes. I enjoy photography. It is not true. When my best friend told me he watches anime, that's when I knew it was the beginning of the end of our friendship. That's a little harsh. It doesn't sound like you've ever seen Cowboy Bebop or Trigun or Monster. It is not that bad, my probiotic. Yeah, I mean, anime is just an outlet of stories and narratives. It's no different than watching The Sopranos or, you know, anything else or any other movie. He's a worthless stoner, Dippy. Yeah, I could see that. Right now I'm watching Steins Gate. It's pretty good. It's a time travel anime. I've heard mixed things about the ending. I don't know. I'm trying to give it a fair shot. Some of my favorite anime include Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Let's see, what else did I really enjoy? Code Geass. Serial Experiments Lane. Chainsaw Man. Hajime no Ippo. Have I seen JoJo? No, I haven't gotten into JoJo. The aesthetic is just pure. No, it isn't. Steins Gate is very good. Does turning off Wi-Fi and reducing EMFs help sleep? Yes. It's solace for eyed people. No, it's not. Bill, I am a nerd. I am a nerd, Bill. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I'm a nerd. Anime is for the spiritually arrogant. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Bill watches sports ball. I hope that's not true, Bill. Most sports are lame, yeah. Rob, good thing I'm a Christian. The cartoons tell good stories. I mean, it's just a medium for good stories. Like, okay, look. Watch Hajime no Ippo, and then tell me like that's dumb. Hajime no Ippo is one of the greatest pieces of sports media of all time. Do I believe in hell? Yes. Everybody hates Chris and Malcolm in the Middle. I don't watch those shows. Watching anime is like accepting your inner self kind of thing because everyone wants to watch one. Yeah. I mean, like I said, just give Hajime no Ippo a shot. It's one of the greatest pieces of sports, media. Not that, you don't like sports, but it's about boxing. And it's about what does it mean to be strong. It's just a good story. It's a good story. It's hype. It's well produced. Anime can be a little lewd sometimes, I'll give you that, but there are a lot of good themes about like loyalty, honor, friendship, never giving up, training and persevering. There's a lot of good things. Yeah, Megalobox is on my list. Great Teacher Onizuka is one I've heard about that I should check out. Hajime no Ippo solos, though. It's so good. Hajime no Ippo is great. That's like one of my favorites. Are you allowed to speak about wax? No, not here. I'm not going to. Guys, I'm actually going to call the space. I'm sorry. They are that bad. Very terrible. Are you still going to be watching anime when you're 45? Yeah, probably. I probably won't be watching new anime because there's not a lot of good new media being produced. I'll probably revisit classics like Serial Experiments Lane, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop's an anime I could watch. Like, it's just so good. It's for kids and geeky ones at that. Bill, I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I've always been one. The Ogimus anime. Watch Serial Experiments Lane. It's so cool. It's so prescient to today and about the internet and everything. It's kind of a mind trip. Oh, I love Berk. Yeah, I love Berserk. I watched the Umasume anime. I don't want to watch that. I don't know who the Mandari people are. So I don't think about them, to be honest. But guys, we are running out of time. Yu Yu Hakusho is good. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is like the OG shonen tournament anime. Season 2 is probably the best, to be honest. But, yeah, it's good anime. I'm going to be 7 years old with my glowing eyes watching anime still. Yeah, bring up the grandkids on the good stuff, the classics. So, guys, I've got to go to bed. Well, no, I have to go watch anime, lay down and watch anime. Not that I don't have fun hanging out with you guys, but it's already been an hour and a half, and I don't feel good. So, I'm calling it for tonight, and I will see you guys. I'll probably stream Wednesday evening. So, we're going to look to Wednesday evening. And, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Bill, I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like these comments, guys. They're a little negative. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Think on that. I'll see you Wednesday.